Hey, it's Dan's Models. This is John along with Dan, and we are looking at a very cool weathered HO scale bulkhead flat car.
Yeah, this is an Espee Models Southern Pacific F70-7 flat car, which is a prototype authentic model of a flat car that was used in the 50s and 60s and beyond on the Espee.
It looks very authentic. And, come to think of it, Dan, that looks an awful lot like that wood load and flat car we were looking at last week on the product reviews.
Yeah, it is actually. This is we did a review of the L Mountain Models wood load, which is what you're seeing on here. We've also reviewed this car.
Yeah, that was last year, though, I think, wasn't it?
It was a while back. It was a while back. But anyway, we've reviewed both of these things. But this is the net result of when it's all put together. And now I haven't actually glued these loads on. They're just sitting there. But I can take them off for a minute and I can see the...
Yeah, let's look at the wood deck because that looks really good.
Thank you. I just... what I did was I basically did some dry brushing and then some powders to kind of make the deck look like old faded gray wood.
It looks like it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, that was kind of what I wanted. And then the car itself I did with powders and airbrushing. Did my layered... Basically all the kinds of stuff that we covered on the weathering and detailing videos about freight cars. My layered weathering technique for the wheels and... combination of airbrushing and powders and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if I could interject real quick, one of the neat things I remember learning from when we taped those weathering and detailing videos, and by the way, in case someone's watching, maybe they're new to our channel or whatever, we have 2 DVDs that are all about weathering and detailing rolling stock like this. Now, this is not one of the models that comes on those programs, but what I was going to say is what you said on one of those programs is that weathering didn't happen in a day.
Right.
And weathering happens in all different places and all different layers that happen at different times. And that your approach is the same way, to do it in layers. And I remember that.
Yeah, I think it makes it look more realistic than if you just try to do something all at once. So sometimes it doesn't always look as good.
Do you think that's something you got from your artistic experience, being an artist?
Could be. I mean, it's also just, I think, seeing what other people have done and just thinking about it. I mean, because I think what got me started is actually being out in the... at some time when we were out photographing real trains, I think seeing a parked freight car, and I was just looking at one of the wheels and I was trying to figure out what color is that?
Yeah.
Really? Because if you look at it, you could say, yeah, it's brown or it's gray, but if you look at it really close, it's not any one of those things. It's like a bunch of different colors, kind of all one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And kind of until it becomes this almost nondescript thing.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Or grime.
Yeah. Depending on how oily it is and whatever. So, I mean, that kind of got me thinking, there's really there's a lot of stuff happening here. It's not just one color. So, that's kind of what got me started on trying to reproduce that.
Yeah. It's loaded again.
Yeah, I put the loads back on.
You need a little forklift that you can drive around to put the loads on.
Yeah. These are actually plastic, these loads, and I just painted them and weathered them to look like wood. I think they actually are fairly convincing. I did them with some 1/64th chart tape in black to do these bands. So that looks like the steel strapping that they use on real loads.
Yes, and it really does.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the tape wasn't included in the L Mountain kit, but the rest of it was. I mean, the load part, not the car.
Yeah.
But
that would be funny. Your wood load kit comes with a car.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it would cost like, $60 or something. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, it's very convincing. And I believe, if I remember correctly, when we did the video review on the Owl Mountain load kit, I remember that was part of the comments that you made was about how it's convincing when it's weathered properly. And these loads look real to me. Like if I didn't have a grass mat and a piece of Unitrack or whatever that stuff is called, this could pass as real, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of. I mean, I try to make the trains look like they're real. That's what I
Yep.
like to do.
That's the whole goal.
Right. So I thought before we end this, we could have it get towed away. There we go.
All right. Well, now that it's moving out of the picture, I'll sign off. So that's it for this edition. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Catch you next time.